green and blue. Thomas is chatting to the other engines with James about their race story. And we raced together, puffed Thomas. I agree, yelled James, because the race is the coolest race we've ever done, all around Sodor. Chuckled Gordon. That's why I'm the strongest, fastest, and the best, where I pull the express. Why fastest? Asked Emily. Because I'm the strongest and fastest engine on Sodor. You don't mean by that, said Henry. What if I'm actually the strongest one? And I'm the wisest one, said Edward. We could be the same thing as we like, said Thomas. But why kind? Asked Percy. It's a whole simple thing around here, chuckled Emily. But wait, cried Thomas. I'm thinking that we decide, instead of red versus blue, why not red, green. Thomas was trying to say everything, but nobody else is understanding. Spit it out! Tooted Gordon. What I was trying to say is that green and blue that we're gonna be teaming up. The engines gasped. Did you just say blue and green? Puffed Edward. He was so confused. Yes! Chuckled Thomas. And that's what we're all gonna be doing. Also, we're gonna be doing a quick challenge game on Sodor. I don't know about this, chuckled Henry. Henry's feeling a bit nervous. Are you okay? Asked James. Yes, I'm fine. I'm kind of a bit nervous about the whole game thing. Only express engines don't play games, said Gordon grandly. Why? We love games, said Nia. I love games too, said Rebecca. We all love games, said Emily quietly. It doesn't matter whoever's gonna be winning or losing. I agree, said Percy angrily. This made Percy and Thomas cross. Are you two angry? Yes, said the engines. Bust my boiler, chuckled James. I've never seen those little engines can be angry for. Oh, stop it, said Edward crossly. I don't even know what you're up to something, but it's either going to be green or blue this time. Well, whatever you say, guys. Anyways, I'm off to work. Chuff. Oh, man. I don't even know whoever is going to be a winner on this challenge, said Thomas sadly. Don't worry, we'll find out, said Emily. I agree, cried Percy. The next day, Thomas came into the quarry. He loves games so much, when he heard a whistle. What was that? Asked Thomas to himself. It was Emily. He arrived at the quarry too. Hi, Thomas, said Emily. What are you up today? Oh, I'm just doing a quick race, but in backwards version. A backwards version? Gasped Emily. But it's dangerous. I know it's dangerous, chuckled Thomas. But trust me, I'm sure nothing else could go wrong. This made Emily very worried. If you say so, Thomas, let me find the turntable. Later, she found the turntable and went right next to Thomas. Are you excited for a quick race, Emily? Asked Thomas. Yes, he gulped. But I don't even know how it works. It's simple, said Thomas instructively. All you have to do is to rev up and drive racingly. Backwards. Oh, I'll try, said Emily nervously. First, Emily tried revving. Whoa! I did it! Stuttered Emily. Nice one. Let me try mine first, said Thomas happily. Thomas stretched his own first. And then, Emily and Thomas raced off backwards. Thomas drove into the lead. Blue engines are fast, and blue engines are first, tooted Thomas. Thomas wanted to win this race, but Emily steamed into the R2. Then there was trouble. Donald and Douglas are joined resting in the engine sheds. But Thomas and Emily couldn't see them. They raced backwardly towards Donald and Douglas. With a clang and a crash, Thomas and Emily crashed Donald and Douglas right at the back of the engine sheds. Stones and timber crashed and clattered everywhere. "Cinder smashes!" cried Thomas. "Bust my buffers!" cried Emily. Then he saw something. What is going on? "Whatever happened here?" cried Edward. "We were just busy racing around, stuttered Thomas nervously. "But now we've accidentally bashed into Donald and Douglas," cried Emily. This made Henry cross. "You should have watched where you're both going," he said. "Sorry," said Thomas and Emily. They felt very ashamed. "But don't worry," chuckled Edward. "I'll get Jerome, and Donald and Douglas will be on track in no time." So, he puffed away. But the rest of the engines had to stay here where they were. Soon, Donald and Douglas are back on the rails. But Emily and Thomas felt sad. They felt very ashamed. "We're both so sorry, Donald and Douglas," said Emily sadly. "We didn't mean to bash into you purposely. We didn't know while we're racing, until we should have watched where we've been going." "Okay," said Donald crossly. "You do?" "Yeah, I agree with me brother," cried Donald. Later that evening, Thomas rushed off from the quarry. They still very ashamed. "Oh my," said Thomas. "I don't understand what we have done to Donald and Douglas." "Neither do I," exclaimed Emily sadly. That night, Thomas was so sad. He meant to do that. Suddenly, Edward arrived. "Hi, Thomas," said Edward. "What's the matter?" "Oh, I don't understand what had happened, Edward," said Thomas sadly. We didn't mean to bash into Donald and Douglas." "I understand," said Edward sadly. "And it was okay. You said I'm sorry." "I know that." "I did," said Thomas. "Oh, is that according to one you revealed Donald and Douglas?" "Yes," said Edward. Maybe we should try comparing some other engines like green and blue someday." "That's right. Now let's head back to our sheds," said Edward. Thomas knew what Edward just said, so he went off to the sheds. The next morning, Thomas drove up. But then later, Gordon arrived. "Where are you heading to, Thomas?" "To, somewhere in the arts," he exclaimed. "I have some different... Then Thomas shocked, as an idea flew into Thomas's funnel. "I got an idea," said Thomas. What is it? What is it? What is it?" cried Gordon. He's very serious. But Thomas isn't. He has something he wants to tell Gordon very seriously. "Maybe it could be a, commentator engine." "A commentator engine?" scoffed Gordon. "Commentator engines don't commentate anything." "As you must know, I must not be late for my passengers," said Gordon. Thomas sniffed crossly. "Now I'm going to be showing what bigger engines shows how it works. Bite me," said Thomas crossly to himself. In the arts, he has arrived to see what's going on. Emily's wheels keep slipping and sliding, but the cars won't move. The trucks were too heavy. She's getting very, very tired. So all of a sudden, Thomas has arrived. I gotta tell Emily something, said Thomas to himself. Emily! Tooted Thomas loudly. I am a commentator for today. And that's what Gordon is. Well, he isn't right now, so I'm gonna be deciding what to do as a commentator engine. Wow, gasped Emily. I wouldn't notice that way. I'll be instructing you what to do. Very, very amazingly. And importantly. So, you might be shunting one of those trucks very hard with all your might. I'll try my best, Thomas, said Emily cheerfully. So then, Emily tried buffering up. Then, she pushed and pushed as her wheels slipped and slid. But then, at last, Emily's strength got on. Emily felt happy to herself. I did it! She tooted. Thomas sighed as he let out a wheeze of steam. He commentated on Emily. But suddenly, he heard a terrible noise. So as the dust cleared, Thomas saw what was the matter. The Troublesome Trucks had ran into Gordon, who was rushing down the line. Luckily, no one was hurt, but his passengers crashed way out hard, right off the tracks. And the rest of the race has knocked everywhere inside, which is passengers and carriages. Emily! Grumbled Gordon. You weren't supposed to be on this track. Thomas was shocked. Then he heard another loud crash. It was James! His front wheel had outstruck the switch and he was derailed. Thomas knew this was all his fault. But he didn't know what to do. The switch is jammed, so no one else could call for help. Gordon can't drive. He got stuck between the freight cars. And Emily can't drive either. I'm sorry, James, said Thomas sadly. He's breaking his voice. I can't be a commentating engine. I don't know what to do. I don't know how. James let out his big cloud of steam. Now I know what to do, he cried. Thomas, you must go and get help. Thomas knew what he meant, so he raced off as fast as his wheels could carry him. The next day, Thomas went off to the station. He told the station master what had happened. Quickly, he phoned for help. Later, James and Emily were back on the rails. James wasn't hurt, but his front bumper beam needs to be repaired. Lightning McQueen arrived. He was so cross. Thomas, he said, you have caused confusion and delay. Thomas was meaning to do that. I'm sorry, sir, said Thomas happily. I'll try my best not to be a commentating engine anymore. Plus, I don't even know who's going to be winning by a blue engine, or a green engine, or to James.